Also on SmackDown, there's tension. Remember, we took a break about a week and a half where I didn't watch the wrestling. But there's tension between Solo and Jacob Fatu now. And there's being pointed words exchanged, and Fatu and Solo were the tag team that were in the main event against the baby faces who were, did I write this down? Where are the notes of this? Priest and Strongman. And basically, that's the thing is Jacob Fatu. Remember when I was saying when they first introduced Solo as the enforcer, the street champion, whatever was going on there? I said it's a great idea for a gimmick and a great spot, in the bloodline. It's different, but it ain't. Solo's too clean. Boy, they need that Jacob Fatu. I believe you'll recall me saying that, even though I'm not a person to talk about the various times that I'm always right.
I would venture to guess that there's a large audience of wrestling fans that learned of the name Jacob Fatu from you.
Well, now they are learning from Jacob, but so I guess the thing is now there's some tension between the two of them as to who's calling the plays, and you get the idea that Tommy Tonga will probably go with the winner. And then they had the main event where, and to be honest, it proved that Brown Strongman isn't very good. Damian Priest style badly clashes with Solo.
Finally, we have proof. We've been looking for proof. That's what we've been missing.
And Fatu has overshadowed Solo in the ring. He's been working longer and he's better at it. And he's wilder and more unpredictable. Solo is still a little green and has but it wasn't a real good match. But finally, you've got Solo milking the fucking spike. Jacob did a double team where he snapped Priest's neck on the rope and into Solo's rock bottom. He got a 2 count. And then Solo was milking the spike, but Priest stopped him. So they got in position where Jacob was coming with a kick and Priest moved and Jacob kicked Solo and knocked the fuck out of him. And then Priest chucked Solo and Brown took him out over the railing or the desk or whatever, or top roped Fatu, I'm sorry. And they were out on the floor and Priest choke slammed Solo 1, 2, 3. And they just got it in. My DVR froze. I don't know if anything else happened. But and now I'm wondering, is it's going to be hard for Solo to be in the group but be subservient. But at the same time, Jacob is a natural baby face because of his charisma and the way he impresses people with the shit that he does and his element of danger. They don't get to see that much these days. But this is the intriguing kind of shit where you don't know where it's going to go and you're guessing. Not like, well, I'm fucking confused because they're telling this story, reasonably and logically. But otherwise, it was kind of boring. I'm sorry.
I didn't see it, obviously, but what would you do if you have everything going on right now? Is it too early to turn Jacob Fatu babyface? And otherwise, do you just reunite the heels with some kind of central cause? Whatever it may be?
I think it is too early to turn Jake because there's so many matches that they can get money out of with him on the heel side right now. If I had to do anything for the sake of long-term business, I might reunite Solo with Roman. Because they got another Samoan coming back. He broke his fucking toe, right?
Oh, that's right, but he's not even Samoan. He's Tongan.
Well, but you know what I'm saying? In this bloodline cast of characters, the Fatu, Solo, and the two Tongas were originally together. So even if Solo, for long-term business, I might reunite Solo with Roman and make Jacob the leader of the Rogue Band because they still have a couple that they've signed that you haven't seen, including a giant. Well, I'm just telling you.
They're hiding a giant down in developmental.
They're hiding a giant in Atlanta. Well, you've got the shelves are stocked with all kinds of surprise Samoans they could bring out. So, but this is a good little palace intrigue here with what's going on. But I'm just, again, if you now everybody's liking Jacob and Jacob's getting over, but this is what I was talking about. So you can see it visually now without having to go too far or research this shit on the internet. A guy that comes in that has that wild, unpredictable look that you can kind of lose yourself in the disbelief of, this guy might not give a fuck enough not to go into business for himself and do some stupid shit. And his athleticism is off the charts and his shit looks good. And it is that, Jimmy Snuka-ish, even when he was a heel, people were starting to get with him and get behind him because he was just awesome. And it wasn't like his promos were going to strong enough to influence him either way. That Jacob can talk also. And he could be just as big of a wrecking ball as a babyface with a valid reason as he is now as a heel. But I'd wait a year and a half and get a bunch of matches that you can get now while it's fresh and then turn him when he needs a little paint up. But that's what I'm talking. The level of aggression that he shows, and you can tell he wants it and he's into it. That's what I was talking about, coming in, making an impression. If he was nervous, he didn't show it.
Well,
but it's your show.
We shall see what happens and show it or tell you about it